Okay, welcome back everyone to the Recycled Cottage and Garden. And we are on I in the ABCs of personal growth. Now, yesterday got a little bit downer on that one, but I think it was an important message. If you haven't seen that one on help, please do. It's important. Today is I, and the word is inspiration. And inspiration comes from hundreds of things and places and people. And there's just no way you could answer, you could know, there's no way you could list everything. There's just no way. Inspiration can come from something a person says, whether it's a friend or a pastor on TV or a philosopher, or it could be anybody. It can come from looking at beautiful artwork. And artwork is subjective as far as what is considered beautiful. Um, and some people enjoy one type of artwork, and other people enjoy other kinds of artwork. Um, music. Music can be very inspiring. There are so many genres of music, and I like almost all of them. About the only thing I don't like is rap. That's just a personal preference. I'm not huge on opera, but there are some pieces I do enjoy. So, pretty much everything else I like. There's going to be something I like. From country, pop, swing, heavy metal, believe it or not. I have friends that are in heavy metal bands. There's, you know, folk music of all sorts from across the world, where we can be exposed to those when at one point when there's things we never would have heard, and you can now because of the internet. You can listen, you can go on YouTube, and as you are now, and you can find things that you had no idea about. I ran across something yesterday that I didn't know there were videos out there of this, and it was on the Jesus prayer, which is used by a lot of, well, most Eastern Orthodox monks. Um, I'd heard it and I knew that it was used, but I had no idea there were videos on it. And I'll tell you very briefly, it's a very simple prayer. It's, Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. And a lot of monks use this, and they pray it continuously. Just that's kind of where their life is. That's what they do, some of them. Um, so, anyway, that's your inspiration can come from anywhere. I get a lot of inspiration from nature, the flowers, trees, the animals, the wildlife. We have a herd of deer. It's about 5 does and 2 bucks, one of which is very young, so they're not fighting each other. Um, but they live here in town. I mean, yes, it's a small town of 5,000 people, but they live here in town. They don't go out to the woods and up the mountain. They live in town. I don't know why, but they come to the front yard of the apartments, and we're on the ground floor on the front, and there's a bird feeder out there that they fill every day. Well, in that bird feeder, I'm thinking there must be corn for the larger birds, because we get doves and little wrens. There's a woodpecker I've seen out there. Some other birds I'm not familiar with because I'm new to Colorado. We have crows. We also have ravens. These things are huge. Some of them are bigger than chickens. They're huge. But I think because of the large birds is why there may be corn in the bird feeder mix. But the deer will come as a herd, sometimes just a couple of them, but usually the whole herd will come up, and they'll take their turn at sticking their tongue into the bottom of the bird feeder to see if they can get whatever is left, or they'll eat what's on the ground. Um, they'll nibble on whatever grass may be still there underneath the tree that when the snow melts away. Um, and I've never seen wild deer, that close up before. I mean, they've come and just looked in the window. It's amazing. Um, and I'm told, I've seen a friend that posted on Facebook from last year, there's a family of foxes that created a burrow underneath a sidewalk and had a family. Well, the city doesn't go in and move them. The city put a fence around that area, so you had to walk around that area so as not to disturb the fox family. I don't know, that may seem a little weird to most people, but I thought it was pretty cool. Um, there are other things that I'd be a little more concerned about because further up into the mountains, and we're in a valley right at the beginning of the mountains, um, there are not only the deer, there are elk, moose, bear, cougars, mountain lions. There are all kinds of wild animals, and they're talking about reintroducing gray wolves. So I don't know. Um, I'm hoping that the wildlife will learn to stay where it's more wild because there's plenty of space where there is. It's not all built up. So I hope we don't have, there are no problems with that. I would love to see, the wildlife be like it's supposed to be. There's eagles here. I've never seen an eagle out in the wild before. So I'm hoping I get to see one. Anyway, that kind of stuff inspires me. But this is also um, the wildflower capital of the world, apparently, in like early summer, or what's early summer for everyone else. Um, so I'm looking forward to that because I love flowers. Absolutely. And as much as I like garden flowers, wildflowers are the best. Absolutely the best. Okay, back to inspiration. What's your inspiration? What inspires you? Think about it. Um, take that inspiration and don't stop learning about things. Dig in. If you find something that's interesting to you, dig into it more. Um, ask questions. Be curious. Because in being inspired, being curious, continuing your learning every single day, that's where your growth comes from. You grow with everything that you learn. You don't stop learning when you're done with high school or college. You continue to learn every single day. I'm 61, and I have learned so much more since I graduated high school than I ever learned in the 12 years I was in school. College was not in my future for monetary reasons. It wasn't because I didn't want to. But I've gotten along just fine. Um, and I've learned about a lot more things. When I tend to watch videos on YouTube or like Pluto TV or, something like that, I don't watch sitcoms. I don't normally, there's been very, very few dramas programs over the years that I've actually liked. Um, the bulk of what I watch will be documentaries, which is why I love PBS. I don't get PBS here because we don't have a TV and I'm not buying one. But PBS is good because you learn stuff. The Ken Burns films are absolutely incredible. I love those. documentaries of all kinds. I like do it yourself programs. They used to have a lot of really, really good do it yourself home improvement kind of things. That's kind of gone by the wayside. Now it's some crew comes in and, oh yeah, your family and friends may help out with it, but they come in with their design and you have to go along with it, whether you really like it or not. Basically, that's the sense I've gotten from these programs. And after watching if you watch about 4 or 5 of them, you discover real quickly it's a formula. Every single backyard improvement has a water feature and a deck and a fence and it's all the same. Might be a little different designs on them, but it's all the same stuff. I got bored with them really quick. Maybe you're inspired by cooking and learning new types of cuisines and new types of recipes to try out. I don't watch them on TV because I don't have TV, but I've got, at this point, a small collection of antique cookbooks. I didn't have room to bring my whole collection. I had almost 300 antique cookbooks from the 1930s and earlier. So I had to make some choices when I moved here. I didn't have a place to put them, and I was not going to be able to afford to ship them all. So right now I have about 75, maybe. I haven't counted them. It might be less than that. I kept all my favorites that I've used, and beyond that, I kept my oldest ones. Reason for me doing that is because I like the old ones because they're actual real food. They don't have recipes that include a can of this and a frozen packet of that and a boxed mix of this. It's real vegetables, real fruits, whatever. That's just my opinion on it. That's just the way I like to cook. But getting back to our subject here of inspiration is everywhere. It may be people, it may be quotes, it may be things, it may, you may love going to museums and being inspired by other cultures from the past that are no longer here. You may be inspired by your neighbor that runs marathons, or your next door neighbor that loves to do French cooking. There's no telling where the inspiration you're going to find. There's so much out there. So be inspired. Learn new things every single day. It doesn't matter if it's just one tiny little thing. Go for it. Keep learning. It keeps your brain active. It keeps your mind motivated. And you grow. You may not know it, but you grow every single second that you are learning something new. So I'm going to stop it for here because I've got a few more videos to make. And we'll see you tomorrow with the next installment on the ABCs of Personal Development. I will put a link to the article in the description box below. And please like, share, and subscribe if you care to. Check out the rest of this series. You may find that interesting. I'm trying to keep these fairly short videos. Sometimes I get off on rabbit trails. But we will see you again the next time. Thanks for dropping by. Y'all have a great day.